All right, we are live, Washington WREIA, April 2023. Thank you for everyone that's going to be joining us here tonight. Oh, let me click over here. Make sure I'm ready for you all. All right, as you come on board tonight, if you want to say hello to everybody, feel free to do that. Or if you want to say hello to me, that'd be great too. Many of you know I've said this now for the last year and a half, I guess, 2 years, is that doing these live Zooms and so forth is great. We reach a lot of folks, but certainly sometimes it's hard to connect. So sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to the ether, and I don't know if anyone's out there. So if you do want to chime in every now and then, it is very, very helpful. But I hope everyone's doing well. Great time of year. I say this often because I love the different seasons, but I'm a sports nut, and I love this time of year. You got baseball, wearing my Nats hat tonight, kind of gearing up. We just came off the Masters. I'm a big golf fan. We have NBA playoffs. So if you're into sports, this time of year is fantastic. Now, the one thing I do not like about this time of year, and I've talked to a few of you over the last few weeks, is allergies. Man, it has been rough. I played golf last week, and I came off the course, and I felt like I'd cried buckets, and it wasn't because of my play, even though I could be crying over that. But geez, the allergies have been brutal, and you might notice these raccoon eyes are a little bit genetic, but they're also suffering from allergies now. So I hope you're staying inside a little bit, but still enjoying the warm weather that's coming. Magaline, good to see you. Thanks for checking in with me. You're such a faithful member of Washington WREIA, and we appreciate you coming in tonight. We have a lot to go over tonight. I have a lot of things to share with you tonight, as we've said in our emails. And boy, I hope you enjoy some of these emails. We do put a lot of time and effort into those. And if you really kind of search through those, there's some great information, some great articles, and just some great insights on some of the things that we experience in our real estate business. So I hope you are reading some of those. But if you paid any attention to those, tonight, it's twofold. Number one, we're going to be talking about skill sets that are very needed as a real estate investor. And in some cases, you could just say as a business owner. So we're going to highlight some of those things and how we can get better as investors, mastering some of those skills. We're also going to kind of announce, and we've been kind of slowly announcing this over the course of the last few months without much detail. We're going to give you a little bit more detail tonight. Well, thank you, Debbie. Yes, I do enjoy the emails. It's always nice to know that someone is actually reading those, because we do spend some time. And Justin, who's been with me for many years, and many of you know, Justin spends a lot of hard work on those, and he does a great job of putting some of those emails together. But as I was saying, the second part of tonight is we're going to kind of be rolling out our team of 23. And this is going to be our new live event for Washington WREIA. I know a lot of you have been asking me for the last 6-8 months, are we ever going to go back live? The answer is yes. And tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about that. So I'm going to spend kind of the second portion of tonight talking about Washington WREIA team of 23. And I'm excited about it. In fact, I haven't been excited about anything like this in a while, because I think it's something we've thought about, something that we've asked people about. And I think we put together a good Washington WREIA in-person event for many of you, hopefully to take part in. But first, I want to just kind of talk about tonight's subject. Dominic, hey, there you go. You finally got on. You finally figured out how to push the right button. Good to see you. And you put Ho Bud, so it probably meant hi Bud. But Dominic is a successful investor in Southern Maryland. So thanks for joining us tonight. But as I said, we're going to be talking about skill sets. Now, again, if you've joined us over the last few months, and if you've missed anything, obviously you can go back and take a quick peek at some of our past WREIA meetings. But really late last fall, as I really started thinking about going forward in the new year in 2023. And again, I have the opportunity to talk to a number of you, some through mentoring and some through just natural conversations online and in person. And I really wanted to, again, get back to some of the basics, if you will, get back to what it really means to be a real estate investor, and what truly is the most important thing for all of us tuning in on a Monday night to a Zoom meeting in Washington, REIA. And that is doing deals. That is having success with whatever you want to accomplish in this business, and get away from this technique and that technique and this latest trend and this latest fad and this YouTube video and this seminar coming online or in person. Really want to kind of get back to the basics, and most importantly, get you folks to accomplishing whatever goal you might have in real estate business. So we thought, and we started out with something we called going small and going focused. And what we meant by that is we really wanted to hone everybody in. And I've repeated this a few times because I think it's so important. I really wanted people to hone in as a new year kind of came upon us. And now we're already through 4 months, but 3.5 months. But as the new year came upon us, what did we really want to accomplish in this new year? What was our focused, targeted goal? And we really wanted to hone in on that. And on top of that, we wanted to figure out, okay, what strategy or what technique in real estate investment business excited us the most? What kind of brought us in? Okay. For me, it was the buy, renovate, and sell. For me, it was the idea when I was painting houses that this was a viable business. This was something that I could actually do and create a career and create a business around. And that's what I was searching for when I was looking. But what do you want to accomplish? Is it wholesaling? Is it renovating? Is it renting? Is it being a better realtor? Is it connecting with other investors to sell investment properties? Is it a mortgage broker? What part of the real estate investment world did you want to focus in on? And then we took that and we really wanted to focus in on that strategy. And we wanted to focus in on kind of the area, if you will, the geography part of what we were focusing in. I hear it all the time. Hey, I want to be, I want to kind of do a little bit of everything. I want to wholesale. Then I want to buy, renovate, and sell. Yeah, I love doing rental properties. Where? Oh, anywhere in the DMV is fine. Virginia? Sure. DC? Yeah, I can do that. And again, this is coming from people that really have no experience. They have no knowledge of the area, no knowledge of the business, and they're spread thin. They're spread all over, and they're jumping from technique to strategy to Northern Virginia to they heard Prince George's County was good for wholesaling, but they live in Frederick County. And it's just a mess. And I see this over and over again. And I hopefully made some inroads with some of you to really step back, take a little bit of time, and really hone in and focus on what you wanted to do, what you wanted to accomplish, and the area you want to accomplish. Now, folks, we're not talking that small and focused means slow and unprofitable, right? Quite the contrary. Quite the contrary. When you really hone in and focus on what you want to accomplish, you'll be amazed at the steps and strides you'll make to accomplishing your goals. So that was kind of January. February, I was out. I think I had COVID. I'm not sure what I had, but Gary Green and Justin stepped in, and I think you had a great night of Gary, local investor, doing very well, buying, renovating, selling real estate. That was a good night. Last month, we jogged a little bit. We were going to talk about kind of overall money, but there's so much media and so much coverage about the banks. So we spent a little bit of time talking about rates, talking about the Fed, talking about the collapse of a couple banks. And we try not to get too wonky with it because you can and get confusing, but kind of how did that affect us or what do we see happening? And again, all of this is best guess. When you get on any kind of social media or you get any of your news online and you start scrolling through, it's amazing how different opinions there are from really, really bright people, right? Not me and Justin and Jim and different people in our group. Now, these are Harvard educated. These are Stanford educated. These are titans of business. These are banking presidents. And, some of them say, yes, a recession is coming. Others say, hey, the housing market is due for, we've kind of hit the bottom and we're rising up. It's all over the board. So it's very difficult to navigate some of this. And you just have to look at your own small economy and make decisions based on that. So we talked about that. And so this month, as I said, we're going to be talking about skill sets. Okay. But let's go back just a step as we walk into that. I mentored an investor. Okay. And this investor had done some deals, some buy, renovate, and sells, but he was getting a little frustrated. And he hired me and we started meeting and we came up with kind of what we were trying to accomplish this year. And we broke it down into 4 areas. And basically, this was our question. What are the 4 disciplines you must master to become a competent, successful, long-term rehabber? That's important. what are the skill sets or what are the areas that we need to master, become a long-term REIA. He was not interested in just getting in and getting out. He wanted to make this his career, kind of like I did when I started, 25, 30 years ago, long time ago. So we talked about that. Number one, we talked about we have to learn how to locate distressed property, right? Number one, we had to learn how to finance those projects and finance the growth of our business. Some people forget that the growth, if you start going from 1 or 2 renovations to 6 or 7 renovations to 3 or 4 renovations at a time, you not only have to finance that project, but you have to finance your cash flow in your ongoing business to have that leap, to do that growth. So we talked about that. We talked about cost efficient and effective renovation. Okay, executing the renovation with cost-effective contractors. And we ended up talking about selling properties for maximum profit. That sounds simple and easy, but you'd be amazed at how much profit investors leave on the table. And we broke those down. We talked about the locating distressed properties. What area do you want to invest in? We targeted that. What are the motivation categories of the sellers that you're working with? And we went back and looked at some of his deals and we honed in on that. We honed in on his marketing and how he was attempting to reach these people with the services. Financing, right? Private financing. We worked on that. We worked on lines of credit for the growth of his business. And the reason I'm telling you all this is we broke all this down and we came up with a game plan that was very focused and tailored to what he wanted to accomplish. Okay. And I'm glad to say that he's making tremendous progress. And I do believe he's going to be a long-term investor. Now, why do I say that? Okay. Why do I give this example? Well, we sent out an email this week and I thought it was really good. Gary, good to see you, buddy. Gloria, I see you up there. Harvey, hope you're with her. Good to see you folks. Hope you guys are doing well. We sent an email this past week and we sent a number of them. And one of them was talking about the different skill sets that you needed to master in this business. Okay. And let me just walk you through some of these because I know people skim these emails. Now, Debbie, being the great person that she is, I'm sure she read word for word 2 or 3 times. They digested it all and thought about it on her commute to and from work. But a lot of you skim these. So let me just run through these real quick. We talked about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I added a 7th. 7 skills that you need to master if you're going to be a successful real estate investor. And these are, not in any real order: soft skills, I'll define it in a minute; trade skills, analytical skills, project management skills, financial skills, legal and accounting skills, and marketing skills. So when you look at all those, and I have a son in school now, a son that graduated from college and a son in college, and I looked at this and go, you know what? That's really 7 different majors. I mean, how are we supposed to understand and become, credible, efficient, able to do all these different skills and run a real estate business? This is a lot. And that's what just angers me. Then they talked about get rich quick. This is anything but get rich quick. This is basically 7 different majors that you can spend 4 years and go get a master's degree in these skill sets. Okay, Gloria, I can. These are, and it's in your email. If you look at our email, we listed these out. But soft skills, trade skills, analytical skills, project management skills, financial skills, legal and accounting skills, and marketing skills. And let me go through those as I morph into kind of our topic tonight. Soft skills, in the email, talked about emotional intelligence, right? This kind of like the people skills. Some people have these naturally. They're very good with people. They're good salespeople, right? Maybe they're not intellectually off the chart. Maybe, their book knowledge isn't great, but they connect. They have good people skills, soft skills. Trade skills, simple. You're a good plumber. You're a good electrician, carpenter, right? We have a lot of contractors get involved in this business, and the trade skills are easy. They already know that. They went to school for that. They were brought up in that business, maybe a family business. They understand that. They're good at it. Analytical skills, ability to see risk, conditions, ability to see where growth corridors are. If you want to be a rental, if you want to be a landlord, these are analytical skills. Not all of us have these. In fact, a lot of times a person with emotional intelligence skills, soft skills, doesn't have as good as analytical skills. Now, some people are born with the silver, they're born with all these. And lucky them. But most of us are good at maybe one or two of these. Project management skills. This is a skill set, executing a deal to start to finish. I've done a lot of partnerships in my career. In fact, that's where I've made a lot of money, good and bad. And all the bad ones, I believe me, I've looked at it because this is where I've lost money in my business. JBN Really Investment, my holding company, I'm going to say rarely, if ever, I can't even think of one where we lost money. Now, there's certainly deals that we didn't make a lot of money in, but we never lost money. Where I've had colossal failure is in partnership deals, and it's never been the deal. It's never been the deal. The deal has always been okay. It's something else that went. It's project management skills. The execution was horrible. They let people take advantage and run all over them. They spent way too much on renovation. They, all these types of things where it failed the deal. They didn't have that skill set and they didn't hire anyone to do those things. Financial skills. Think of all the financial skills you need to be a good investor, right? Ability to raise capital, cash flow management, very important. It's something I think innately I'm pretty good at. One of the reasons I've survived in this business for 30 plus years, buying, renovating, and selling houses, is that when I made, and I had a great year, I didn't spend that year. When I had an awful year or not as good a year, I didn't, spend down. Early on in my painting business, I owned a painting company in college. When I got out of college, I still ran that company. My brother, who worked with me for a couple of years out of school, he's very much the analytical financial skills guy, right? He's got an MBA and a CPA. So he's very good at some of those things. And early on, very early on, whether we made $1,000 each a week or we made $300 a week painting houses, he basically said, you're taking $600 a week. That's what you're taking. Whether we have a great week or a bad week, 600, you got to learn to live on that. And I've taken that over my career where we're pretty disciplined. And now it's a tad more than 600 a week, but I think a lot of people would be surprised that it's not some outrageous number. If I went and had great years and went and bought a 10,000 square foot house, and some investors can, okay, I get it. But if I did that in 08, 09, I would have been wiped out, because I had 33 bad loans I had to work through. But my ability to work through those, and the reason I was able to escape that, okay, is because my lifestyle was continuously the same. I didn't spend up or spend down to those things. So, having financial skills, organized bookkeeping. So many investors, they keep the receipts in a cardboard box under their car somewhere. They have no kind of bookkeeping. They have nothing that they can give to the accountant at the end of the year to work on. Legal and accounting skills. How many of us are accountants or lawyers? We're not. And then marketing skills. That's the skill set that's changed the most in the last 5 years. Okay, you need to stay on top of the trends, on top of what other people are doing. Folks, the greatest education you can get, by far, the greatest education you can get in this business, in any business, is you figure out what you want to do. All right. I don't know what that is. You figure it out. I want to own commercial buildings. I want to own shopping centers. You might not want to own office buildings right now, but maybe in the future. I want to own rental property. I want to buy, renovate, and sell properties. I want to wholesale real estate. I want, the biggest wholesalers in the country make 30 million a year. I want to be that. Your best education is learning from people that are doing what you want to do right now in the markets that you want to do it in. That's your best education. Okay. That is it. Find those people and be around those people and learn from those people. But these skill sets that I've mentioned are important. Now, the burning question tonight is number one, hopefully you can check off one or two of these skills. You can say, you know what? I'm pretty good at that. That I'm pretty good at. I have carpentry skills, or I have contractor skills, or I do project management in my job, or I'm pretty good with money and finances. So hopefully one or two. And then maybe one or two you can work on. Like early on, I knew that one of the most important skill sets, right, in this business was sales. It was being a good salesman, learning how to close. And I still work on that. It's still something you got to work on. But early on, I took a Sandler sales training because I knew I needed that skill set. And I learned so much during some of these courses that I took early on. I knew that eventually I wanted to do presentations, and I always kind of wanted to be a coach when I grew up. So I knew I needed to have presentation skills. And, whether I'm good at it or bad at it, you guys can decide. But early on, I took a Dale Carnegie course. I'm sorry. I Dale Carnegie books, and I also took Toastmasters. I was a part of Toastmasters for years. If you don't know what Toastmasters is, Google it. Join a local group. Man, they'll put you through the fire. They'll help you public speak. They'll help you communicate with other people, and it's very, very important. Some of the other things, I wanted to be around lawyers. So I volunteered for tenant landlord. I wanted to get to know more lawyers. I went to continuing education for lawyers. I knew that auctions were very important. I didn't know how to bid in an auction, and I didn't have the money to bid for houses. So early on, I went to furniture auctions. I've told this story before. I went across the Bay Bridge and I bought pool tables, 5 pool tables. And before I picked them up, I had no way of picking them up, but before I picked them up, I had sold them. And so I flipped them. So I learned how to wholesale with smaller dollar items because it felt less risky to me. I didn't know how to wholesale a house. God forbid. What if I got stuck? What if I didn't know the language? All these questions. But as I started buying and selling mattresses, believe it or not, bed sets, bedroom furniture, pool tables, aquarium equipment, a light store that I bought out of bankruptcy, I got more and more confident. So you can work on these skills as you go. But this is the burning question, okay? This is the burning question tonight. Ask yourself this question. Can you be competent or can you be great at all these skill sets? And what's the answer? Let's just all answer it online. You can shout it if you're watching in your bedroom or your family room or your basement. The answer is no. No, you can't be an accountant. You can't be a lawyer. You can't be a whiz financially. You can't be the perfect project manager. You can get better. You can understand some of these things. Okay. You can learn how to be a better project manager. You can learn how to raise money. But you're probably not going to be an expert at everything. So that's what leads us tonight. Okay, that's what leads us tonight. And this is my opinion. And again, if you've been around me, if you've heard WREIA meetings over the years, if you've come to things, I've been doing this now for 20 years. So you're bound to have heard this from me from somewhere. But the most important thing, okay, skill that you can find in business, I think, and certainly in the real estate investment business is this. How big is your network? How big is your network? Networking is the single most important skill set that all can learn. Now, again, you might be sitting there saying, man, I'm an introvert. I don't want to network. I love this pandemic era we're in. I can just sit in my basement behind my computer and no one needs to know who I am or where I am. Great. Network on your computer. There's a whole social media. There's a whole world out there at your fingertips. You can network without meeting anybody. I'm still a little old school. I prefer to network in person. I prefer to sit across from somebody or meet somebody or get an introduction online and meet them at some point. That's what I prefer. But networking is the most important skill set. Write it down, think about it, dream about it. I'm going to show you what to do here tonight. And then we're going to be talking about this team of 23. Networking. Let me break it down into 3 simple steps for you. Number 1, we all have 3 networks. We have 3, every single one of us, 3 networks. Number 1, we have a personal network. Okay. The personal network is everybody that knows your name, personal friends, family. That's your network. Make sure everybody in your circle, that personal area, knows what you are doing and what you want to do with real estate. I like you. Oh, I'm like you, John. I prefer to meet people. Okay. That was weird, Marv. I thought I said I like you, John. I was going to say thank you. But I'm like you. Great, Marv. That's exactly right. Well, I say the answer is yes. Okay. So Russell says he is great in everything. Russell, it does not surprise me that you say that. But my guess is you're not. But anyways, that's fine. But we all can get better. I think, Russell, you probably agree with that. But we all have a personal network. So you want to let everybody know about what you're trying to accomplish. Now, I say that with a caveat. Some of you have heard me tell this story too. When I first got started with this and I ran back to the painting business and I was up in the ladder and I so excitedly turned to my brother and said, man, I went to a seminar last night and this guy stood up and he was just energetic and he told me that I could make so much money and I plopped down $500 and I bought his tape set. That gentleman, by the way, his name was Ernie Kessler. For some of you old school people, you know that name. My brother looked at me and goes, you're an idiot. Why would you do that? You don't know anything about real estate. You can't do that. You just wasted $500. I'm sure the guy's a Flim Flam artist. And, he never believed in it. And I tell you what, I was deflated when I was so excited and I was so ready to listen to these tapes and apply this information I was going to garner and I was going to be turned into this real estate mogul. He just stole my dream. So if you have people in your network that are going to steal your dream, stay away from them. Now, later turns out, I've had some success and my brother has invested with me and it turned out okay for me. But man, that can deflate you. So personal network, share those dreams and share those goals with some folks in your personal life. The other thing is you want to get more involved with your personal network, right? That means volunteering. Maybe you're active in your church. Maybe you have hobbies. Maybe you're playing pickleball or golf or tennis, or maybe you play chess, or maybe you are a part of a band. Whatever you are, let those people know, those offsetted people know what you're doing on a Tuesday night or a Saturday morning. Let those hobbies, those folks know where you are. And if you don't have any of those things, if you're not doing anything, you got to start. You got to volunteer. You got to get some hobbies. You got to be more active in your organizations, religious and or otherwise. Maybe the PTA at school, your children's activities, their soccer teams. Volunteer to coach, be an assistant coach, get to know more people. Let those people, as you get to know them in your personal network. Hey, John, how you doing? What's up? Hey, you know what, man, I had a great week of work. I work for, as you know, I'm an accountant or I'm this or I'm that. But man, when I'm really after, man, I'm going to wholesale my first real estate deal. And this is what that means. And share that with people and let them help you attain and achieve that goal. You'll be amazed. Create and practice your 2-minute pitch. All right. You've heard me say this many times. What is that? Folks, that is your calling card. Instead of just handing someone a card or even someone over the internet, you can type this out as your 2-minute pitch. And your 2-minute pitch is simply who you are and what you do. Hey, I'm John Peterson. I buy, renovate, and sell properties in the Washington, D.C. area for the past 25 years. And this one, I'm looking for properties that need work or people that really want to sell their house and the property needs work. Let me know if you know anybody like that. Oh, by the way, I also own rental property. So if you know anybody that has a good property you think might be a good rental, let me know. Okay, let me know. Practice that 2-minute pitch. Maybe you're at a networking event and it's a different type of event and you're there to raise money. So now my 2-minute pitch is, hey, I'm John Peterson. Hey, what do you do? Oh, I raise capital. I am a private investor. I buy, renovate, and sell houses. Do you know anybody in the room that might have some available capital I should talk to? Right? You can change that 2-minute pitch in the situations that you're in. All right, let's keep moving. Second network, very important, maybe the most important. Professional network. Now, the way I define professional network is this is defined as anyone that you encounter in your business life, right? Maybe this isn't your best friend. I have business friends, right? Some of them turn into closer friends, but a lot of them are business friends. This might be maybe an attorney or a title company. This might be your painter. This might be someone that prints postcards for you. This might be your data scientist that's producing data for you. This might be almost anyone, someone that works for pest control. These are people in your business network. Folks, these people need to know what you're looking for. Your pest control person might not know that you're looking for houses. You just hire them occasionally to do some termite abatement, right? Or you might have some carpenter bees occasionally. You got to let those people know. We want people in our business network to understand exactly what we do, and we want them to be an engine for growth in our business. Quick example. When I first got started in this business, I was enamored with getting out of painting clothes, okay? Out of painting in a coat and tie or in a nice pair of khakis and a nice shirt. Now you see, I'm more from that. I generally wear shorts 8 months a week, and I'm wearing a t-shirt tonight. So I don't do that as much anymore, but I was really excited to do that. And man, my first year when I got a chance to go meet an accountant, I wanted someone on the 9th floor in Bethesda. I wanted to drive my car, park under the garage, go up there and meet that important accountant. And man, I did. And I went to the secretary. The secretary said, yeah, sure. Sit right here in this nice chair and you're overlooking Bethesda. Can I get you a cup of coffee, a soda? You want a cookie? I was like, man, this is great. And I went in for my appointment. The accountant saw me for a minute and a half. And then about a week and a half later, I might have got my tax return, but I got a nice fat bill, right? $1,500. I was like, man, this isn't going to work. I barely even got to know this person. They didn't have time. It was just a number. So that's when I decided I needed to find people in my network that I could work with that could help me grow and I could help their business grow. So then I seeked out an accountant that specialized in small real estate investors, someone I could connect with, someone that could help me raise capital, someone that might come across landlords that had deals. Maybe same thing with an attorney. And I met my attorney in Silver Spring. Some of you know him, Jim Fitzgibbons. I mean, I wanted to meet someone that didn't have the fancy office, that I wasn't a number. And I've helped Jim's business grow, and Jim's also helped my business grow by feeding me deals, doing my legal paperwork, by introducing me to different people in his network. And that's what you want for every single person that works for you. Your painter should know what you want to do. Your pest, all these people in your network should know exactly what you do. And, seek them out. Seek them out. You need resources, right? We just talked about these skill sets. We need legal help. We're not lawyers, most of us. We need accounting help. We're not accountants. Taxes are an important part of our business. In fact, I've admitted to a lot of you, my weakest part of my business, quite honestly, is taxes. I rely solely and heavily on my accountant to help me with that. But I should probably know a little bit more about that and how I can shield and how to protect and how to grow some of those things. Okay. So you need this in your business. You need good contractors. You need good IRA administrators. You need good everything. And this is your business network, professional network. Where do you find these folks? Industry specific group, other investors, online groups, community groups, career development, seminars. I just saw a thing right before I came online tonight, an email, a title attorney, because they're slow, right? They're slow. So they're outbound marketing. They've invited everyone to a short sale course given by an attorney, okay, at the title company. Man, those are kind of things that you want to attend. They're free. They give you the cookie and the Diet Coke or the cup of coffee or the bottle of water. They want you to come into their offices. Man, those are great. You just glom onto those. You learn, but more importantly, you network and you meet people. You meet other investors interested in short sales. You meet realtors that are interested in short sales. You meet a title company that specializes in short sales. What else do you want? That is just on a platter. Those are the kind of things that you need to continually to be attending and continue to meet people. And I'll tell you what to do once we meet them. But those are the kind of things you want to do. And then finally, our business network, right? Personal, professional, business. Business network is defined at anyone you're working with in your business. Okay. This is kind of what I call more partners in your business. All right. If you're going to be doing, partnerships, I guess, this could kind of be a little bit, with your lenders, people that are actively in your business, if you will. You want to, figure out what kind of people you want to be around. All right. What's a good business partner? What are some of the skill sets that you lack that they have? A great business partner, and it's kind of a shame. My brother and I were partners when we were younger in the painting business, and we went our own separate ways. And it was probably a good thing in the long run. But from a business perspective, we were perfect because I had some of the soft skills, some of the financial skills, some of those skills. My brother was great with some of the analytical skills, accounting, all those things. We were a good partnership in the painting business, and we probably would have been a good partnership in the real estate investment business too. So think about where you're weak and attract those people to form that strong alliance that can make your business grow. Okay. All right. Hopefully we're running through this a little bit. Your network dictates your net worth. Daniel, you are right. You are right. I mean, think about, I was driving around today, listening to the sports radio, and they're talking about the Commanders sale. And this guy, Josh Harris, who grew up, I guess, in Chevy Chase and been wildly successful. These guys are just amazing business people. But they just said his network is so vast. His network is so deep. He has political connection. He has real estate connections, construction, capital. I mean, he just has all these things, and he puts all this together to be able to do these just fantastic types of deals. So network is very, very important to our net worth. All right. Some of the platforms. Okay. Some of the platforms that I'm going to talk about here are essential, growing your business. Now, again, just talking about social media, with Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and getting involved in some of these things and Always stay in touch with our current and past clients and our current and past vendors. Some of the thing that I stress is that when you meet somebody, okay, so you're at a network event, let's say that short sale event, free short sale 2 hour event, you meet someone, you're sitting next to a realtor, you talk to them a little bit, hey, I want a wholesale, hey, I want to buy renovations, hey, I want rental properties, hey, I want commercial strip malls, whatever it is. And they say, yeah, sometimes I come across those things. Great. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to hand them some kind of connection, either business card or exchange, phone numbers or so forth on our phones. But most importantly, my main focus is not to give him my name and my contact information. It's to get his contact information. Very important that you gather their information, because I promise you, when you leave the short sale event and you go home and you get involved with your family or your kids or your business or whatever else, he's doing or she's doing the same thing. And tomorrow they've forgotten totally about you. They might be excited for a few minutes. They, hey, I met someone really interesting. But then you just go out of their conscious and they go on with their day. You want to be an active networker where you take that contact and now you place it into your social media. You put it into your database. And now you're feeding that database. You're feeding those contacts value with articles or emails or an occasional phone call. Or if they're really someone that you think is, up here, can really help you, you want a cup of coffee with them or take them out to lunch or breakfast. You want to really work on that network and growing it, getting to know them and staying in touch with them. Because if you just put them in your database and forget about them, nothing's going to happen. But if you follow up and they get to know you and they get to know what you're looking for and they know that you're hungry and you know that you follow up, you'll be amazed at where this can lead you. It's truly amazing. If you just test those theories, you will see how this works. And again, with social media, it's even that much easier. Having 5,000 people or 1,000 people in your LinkedIn network, that's great. But if you never reach out, if you never, refer them to an article, if you never interact, if you never do anything with that, it's useless. So you got to reach out. You got to stay in touch, because if you're just sitting back and go, man, I met someone great at the short sale, I'm sure they'll call me with a deal next week when they get one. Forget it. They've forgotten about you. They have 5 other, 10 other, 20 other people, or the deal will go to the next person they meet that's right there. So you really have to stay in touch and create some value for your network and your database. Many of you have heard me talk about this. I'm going to end with this as I talk about the team of 23, but something called, and I've used it for years, called the magnet approach. The magnet approach is something where I try to meet at least 5 different or new people on every kind of business activity that I do. Mainly houses. I buy, renovate, and sell houses. So during the course of that project, my hope is that I can meet someone new, maybe another wholesaler, maybe a realtor, maybe a good loan officer, maybe a contractor, maybe someone as obscure as someone that, a neighbor for a possible deal, whatever. I want meet those people and put those people in a database. It's the magnet approach. It's being present. It's getting the blinders off and looking around you and seeing where that's the best time to build your business, when you got a deal. Okay. Now, if you don't have a deal, you can work off other people's deals. You can say a future deal. There's so many different ways that you can build this so your network start rising. And we all know this, but we have to put it in place. You look at some of the people on social media. The people that are making all the money on social media have the largest following. Another word for the largest network. Okay. And when they have a level of expertise, or people perceive that they have a level, look at the Kardashians. What have the Kardashians really ever done in life? Now, they've accomplished great business things, but when they started out, what did they really accomplish? Well, they're so popular still that people just hang on their social media platforms and looking for their referrals and looking for what they're doing. And they built an incredible life out of that. It's really, they're just very powerful, and they understand the power of networks. Okay. And you can do that on your level too. You can do that on your level too. So I hope this helped you. Personal, professional, business networks. Work those angles, let people know, gather that information, database it, and then create content, create value. There's so much out there that you can create value. Just sending a simple article about the real estate market. They're everywhere. Or sending a simple article from the Fed. You can repurpose all this content that's right at your fingertips to stay in touch with your database. And God forbid you pick up the phone every now and then and you call someone and you invite them for a cup of coffee, or you say, hey, I kind of was scrolling through my database, haven't talked to you in a while. Let's get together and see how you're doing. See how we can do business in 2023. That's great use of time, folks. Great use of time. And if you're lacking a network, you got to get out there. You got to get on the social media, or you got to get out there and meet people in person. Go to some of these. Doesn't cost a lot, cost some time. Some free events around real estate, some more REIAs, but even outside of REIA, just all the other things that are out there for you that you can connect with people. Okay, hopefully that helped. So that leads me tonight, and again, I'm a stickler on Russell Kiley put together $1 billion company. Yeah. I agree. But she did that off the power of her name and the power of her network and a lot of other, TV shows and intangibles. But yeah, absolutely. They've taken that concept that we're talking about, and they've blown it up, and good for them. But it's really about their following and their network and their incredible ability to cultivate that and to build that into not only products, but services, referrals, all the things they're making money on. So yeah, absolutely. I'm not disparaging Kardashians, but you get my point. All right. The Washington REIA team of 23. Let me tell you how we're going about this. We've dribbled a little bit out here. Last month we talked about it. We asked for anybody that's interested to be on a kind of an email list, and I appreciate those that you have done that. We had about, I think about 20, 22, maybe 25 names. And if you've done that, you don't have to do it again. We'll be sending you, again, an official invite and more details as we talk about here tonight, and as we add these things. But basically, when the pandemic hit, right, we've been doing a Washington REIA for 18 years, many years, twice a month, once in Maryland, once in Virginia. And then we kind of scaled back Virginia a little bit. We did it in Maryland for years and years. I don't think we hardly ever missed a month. And then pandemic hit, and obviously everything shut down. We came online. We've been doing this now for, 21, 22, 23, 3 years. Hard to believe. And, mid last year or so, people started asking me, are you going to come back live? When are you going to come back live? Oh, we missed the connection. We missed the network. And I said, yeah, we're working on it. And, I was thinking about it, what I wanted to do, how I wanted to recreate it. And it's taken me some time, and I'm still working on it, if you will. I didn't want to go back to the same old way that we had it before. I thought, I want to do something different. I'm a little in a different phase of my business life, and wanted to make it very centric to getting deals done, if you will. When I think about the early years of REIA, we didn't have 80, REIA topped out at 400 people a month. Some of you weren't around for then. Those were ridiculous salad days of real estate investment. And then as the internet kind of exploded those, and more people got into monthly meetings and REIAs and meetups, certainly the numbers came down. Population grew. It was harder to get from here to Alexandria and here to Baltimore and so forth. But anyways, if you had 80 to 100 people in the room, it was pretty good. Sometimes you had 60 and so forth and so on. But when I look at the early days of REIA, when we had 20, 30, 40 people maybe, man, we had a lot of deals done. And I was like, why was that? How was that? And as I was thinking about REIA this year, and I thought, smaller, focused, accomplishing our goals. And so I kind of just dribbled out this mission statement for what I wanted REIA to look like going forward. And it basically said to create a small, focused, targeted group of real estate investors and vendors, focused on education, networking, important, and resources. Networking and resources are vital, which ultimately, so the ultimate goals ultimately leads to accomplishing individual goals. Okay, so we're not out trying to accomplish group goals. You're not trying to help me accomplish my goals. I'm responsible for that. You can assist that. You can help me with that by a lot of things. So I kept thinking, how can I make this different? How can I make this unique? And I batted around with different investors, batted around with Justin quite a bit. Justin, as you know, is a very creative person, very good at coming up with ideas and helping me out tremendously. And we just kind of came up with this WREIA, Washington WREIA team of 23. So this is what it is. And we've kind of mentioned this. We are going to continue with what we're doing here online. So every month, you certainly can join us, and we appreciate it. We get a lot of people that view this over the course of the month. We've reached out and expanded our network, which has been exciting, which has been great. But we do want to get back together. We miss the same things you miss. We miss the network. We miss the connection with people. And so starting in May 2023, we're going to come back live, but we're going to actually limit our in-person Washington WREIA to 23 people. That's it. We're going to have 23 people join us live every single month for the next 6 months. This is not a class. I'm going to tell you what it is here in a minute. This does have a small investment. This is not to make money. I have found that if I don't charge anything, that's what people put into it, nothing. So if I do charge, they seem to be a little more focused. They seem a little bit more consistent. They seem to participate more. And that's what I'm looking for. So we're looking for 23 individuals to join us every single month in an in-live person meeting. Now, these meetings are not going to be necessarily the same night, the same second Monday of every night at the Women's Club. They're going to be sometimes in the conference room in my office. They're going to be at a property. They're going to be at a law firm. It might be a sit-down dinner. There might be a lot of different things that we're going to do to really focus and network and get to know and help each individual that joins us in this group to accomplish what their goals are. And I think it's going to be a tremendous time for the benefits. What are the benefits? Okay, the number one benefits, a couple. Number one is, some of you know, some of you may not know, I buy, renovate, and sell houses. I also wholesale quite a few houses. So these 23 people will have the first look in any wholesale deal that I have. Now, some of these wholesale deals will be what we call pure wholesale deals. We're assigning a contract over to someone. Or in some cases, I own these properties and they will get the first look at the price. The first look will be for 24 hours. It'll go out to those 23 people. If they know someone, if they want to buy it, great. We won't market it. We won't go to any lists. We won't go to our preferred renovators. You'll have the first look at those. The second major benefit that I see is just access to tremendous amount of resources. We've been doing this for 25 to 30 years. A lot of resources. Anything in the real estate investment business that you need, I probably have, or I can lead you to. But it's not only me. It's going to be also other people in the group. The best places for resources are people that are actively doing the business in the area that you live and the strategy and technique that you want to accomplish. Okay. So this is not going to be 23 newbies. This is not going to be 23 realtors. This is not going to be 23 experienced people. There's no requirement that you've had to have done 10 deals to become part of this group. It's going to be an eclectic mix of people. It's going to be realtors. It's going to be some lenders. It's going to be some contractors. It's going to be some new people. It's going to be some people that have done a lot of deals. It's going to be a unique mix of folks, okay, that are going to come together and help all of us, each of us, accomplish the goals we want to look. You're also going to have the ability to have private phone meetings with myself and actually Justin too. Talk about anything you want. Maybe it's maybe it's figuring out your goal. Maybe it's overcoming a tough problem you're having in your business. Maybe it's setting up something that you need to do, a marketing plan. Maybe it's coming up with raising private capital. Whatever the case may be, we're here to help you on an ongoing basis. And then, overall, it's creating opportunities for everybody in this group. So it's going to start in May and it's going to go for the next 6 months and beyond. It's going to be limited to 23 people. The investment in this group, I think, is incredibly reasonable. It's basically $595. So do the math. It's roughly $100 a meeting. If we don't get 23 people, that's fine. If it's, a dozen people, 13 people, Great, no problem. We'll work with, that will be our in-person REIA meeting for those months, and we'll build. We understand that we haven't been live for a little while. It might take a little while, it might take a little momentum. Based on our response so far, I think we will fill it. But if we don't, we don't. Once we fill it, we're done. So if you want to become part of our in-live REIA meeting, you'll be on a waiting list. And if someone drops out, we'll invite the people based on when they signed up for the waiting list. To come join us. And that's what we're going to do going forward for the live group. I think this is going to really help all of us that are part of this group accomplish what we want to accomplish in this business. And it's going to allow all of us to get to know each other. And I really want to get to know you, meaning I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know the skill sets of those 7 or 8 that you're good at. I want to know the skill sets of those 7 or 8 that you're not good at, and how we can fill those gaps, how we can get you to the finish line. Because I promise you, if I help you get there, I'm going to also benefit from that. I've known that for years and years and years. And this is exciting for me. This is, I drive around going, man, this is going to be great. Even if it's one person, this is what I want to do. I don't want to go back to having 70 or 80 people standing around a REIA meeting and going back to the old way. That just does not excite me really anymore. This is what I'm going to be continuing to do. So if you want to be a part of this, now those of you that have given me interest before, we'll email you. And if you have interest, great. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Okay, interested in Team of 23. Okay, you can visit our site and click buy tickets for more details. All right, there it is, limited ticket supply. So that's going to be up, I think, till, I think we said tomorrow, 11:30. All right, so this is just showing, hey, I have interest. I want you to follow up, and we'll follow up with payment and get you signed in and get you started. This is going to be good. This is going to be really exciting. This is going to be ground floor. This is going to be an opportunity for those of you that are just starting out to really be around a lot of people that have had a lot of success in this business. This is for people that, I've heard from people, hey, I'm doing 6 to 8 deals. I want to do 12 to 15 deals. Perfect setup. I have vendors that say, hey, I'm a hard money lender. I'm looking to work with people that are looking for wholesale deals and so forth. Great group. So this is going to be a good eclectic mix of people that want to join. Now, just kind of pulling the curtain behind the limited ticket supply. The reason we're doing that is we know from experience, we know whenever we offer anything, if it's $1, if it's free, if it's 5,000, numbers are numbers. And generally what happens is we'll probably limit the ticket supply to about 50 people, knowing that if 50 people show interest, anywhere from 20 to 25 will have interest in joining the group. That's just how it works. So that's why we're limiting it. And with our follow-up, so we're not spending days and days chasing anybody. This is not a class. This is a kind of a VIP networking group here in the Washington, D.C. metro area that is going to show great results for everybody. And again, this depends on your personal development. This depends on what you want to get out of real estate investment. It might just be buying one rental house in Cincinnati, Ohio. I don't know. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what you want to do. Or it might be, hey, I want to learn and I want to be competent and I want to be efficient to be able to wholesale, 50 to 60 deals a month. Okay. There's some work to be done there. There's some infrastructure to be done there. There's some capital that needs to be deployed to do that. But is that attainable, successful? Are there people in this area doing that? Absolutely. Absolutely. So whatever you want to join now, let me back up a minute. This probably isn't a group if your goal is, hey, I want to acquire 30,000 square foot office building in downtown Chicago. Probably not the right group. We're probably more catered to that residential, smaller commercial oriented real estate investment. That's where my experience has been. That's where most of the group that have shown interest, that's where their interest and experience is. If you want to move up to the higher levels, that's fine. My advice to you would be to start networking and start getting to know people in that space, right? Commercial real estate brokers, people that own 30,000 square foot office buildings in Chicago. Those are the kind of people that you want to hang around, get to know what groups they're a part of, get to know where they're hanging out, classes and courses and different things they're taking in order to accomplish that. So that's a key thing. That's a key thing with networking. Networking in the area, networking group of people with what you want to accomplish. Gloria, did you say the cost was $595? Yes, it's $595. If you have a family member, Okay. If you have a family member, or I got a couple interests from a mother-daughter team that's doing wholesale deals. If you have a family member, I'm going to just say it's half of what it's $300 for the family member. So it's $595, $300 for the extra person. So with a few folks, we might go over a little bit of that 23, but it's going to be 23 members. 23 members. And when a member drops out, when a member says no mas, when the member says, I don't have, maybe something changed in life, maybe they have to move out of the area, then we'll reopen it up to our online community. And if you want to be on a waiting list, you can sign up for that too. So you could go to this link and just say, hey, I'm on a waiting list. Okay, I want to be on the waiting list. I don't have the $595. And folks, if you don't have the $595, I totally understand that, but you better learn how to get some capital, because you're going to need a little bit of capital, a little bit of money to play ball, to be in the game, to be part of different groups, and to grow and to get involved in your business. Daniel, that's great. Love to have you. Again, Daniel, I don't think he minds me telling people this. Daniel is the exact kind of guy that I love being in a networking group like this, because Daniel is a realtor. Daniel is an investor. Daniel is a mentor and a coach. Okay. He teaches real estate agents around the country with different courses. Why wouldn't you want to be around a guy like that, 6 to 8 to 9 times over the next 6 months, 6 times with our group, and maybe 2 or 3 times privately? He's the exact kind of guy. The resources and the network and the knowledge someone like Daniel Mashallah brings to a group like this is indispensable. And that's my whole point. Daniel's the kind of guys that I want to be around, and you should be around. And Daniel, I know I'm not embarrassing you, because he was a real estate coach and still is. And he's always looking for different angles and different deals. Those are the kind of guys that you want to have the ability to pick up the phone and say, hey, I have this opportunity. I have this deal. What do you think? Hey, I made this pitch. I didn't get this deal. What did I do wrong? Hey, I need a contract for a wholesale deal. Do you know where I can get one? I need an assignment. The fingertips, folks. This is what you want. And by keeping it small and compact, this is where we're all going to grow. All right. Now, I'm not going to blast you with emails. I'm just going to talk to the people that have shown interest. Otherwise, the rest of you, we're online every single month, and we'll continue to be giving out current and good information, I hope. If you have any comments for us, or if you have any questions, certainly let us know. I'm excited about this team of 23. I really think we're going to make some great headway. Oh, by the way, we're going to have some great visiting investors, if you will. We're going to have some visiting vendors, meaning some accomplished attorneys, accomplished people that do wholesale double closings. We're going to have some hard money lenders or finance people. So we're going to have different people that are obviously going to come into the group and share their experience and share their resources with you too. So again, it'll benefit all of us. So we're still going to have some aspects of a regular WREIA group, but it's going to have a lot of different angles and things to it too. So I hope a lot of you will join. I hope we fill this up and we get moving and we have a great group of people. I'll see you next month in May. Love this time of year. This is when the weather's warm. Everything's going great. My wife and I are taking our spring break here at the end of the month. We're flying off and looking forward to a week of good times for our little spring break here. And but I'll be around. Text me, call me. Let's get moving. Real estate market is very interesting right now. A lot of things happening. I'll leave you with this. Did a deal in Germantown. So anybody thinks the market's not good, or there's no money to be made, or as an executive of Google said, or executive Zillow said, I read a short blurb that you can't flip homes anymore. Bought a property for $230,000. Put about $55,000 in it. 3-level townhouse, put it on the market for $399 last weekend. 7 offers, went to $427. So pretty darn good profit. Folks, the business is alive and well. And all you got to do is raise your hand and say, I want to be a part of it. And you can be. Thanks so much for joining us. Take care. Have a great April, great time of year. Enjoy this kind of kooky but warmer weather coming. Be in touch, and I hope to see a lot of you next month on the team of 23 as we get together back live, Washington WREIA after 3 years. We're really looking forward to it. Take care. Good night. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.